Hi my dear friends, welcome back to English class. Hope all of you are fine. Already we have started an inspiring story of a boy who wanders in search of a nursing mother to breastfeed his younger brother. Do you remember that story? I'm sure you remember. What is the title of the story? Yes, maternity. Don't you know the meaning of maternity? Yes, you know. That is motherhood. The world famous Lebanon writer Khalil Gibran says, "Mother is the most beautiful word on the lips of mankind." മനുഷ്യകുലത്തിന് കിട്ടാവുന്ന ഏറ്റവും മനോഹരമായ വാക്കാണ് അമ്മ. Here we study maternity, motherhood. And who is the writer of maternity? Do you remember the name of the writer? Yes, the great Greek writer Lilika Nakos. And I would like to know certain ideas from you about the main character of this story. Don't you remember the name of the main character of this story? Do you remember? Can you get me the name? Yes, Mikali. Mikali is a 14-year-old boy. Let me ask you one question in between. Yeah, a question to you. How old are you? Tell me, how old are you? I know many of you are approximately 14 years old. Am I correct? Yes, you are 14 years old. And a boy of your age is the main character of this story. So you can be very happy. A boy of your age is the main character of this story. What else can you say about Mikali? Second idea? Yes, he is an orphan. He is an orphan. At the time of the birth of his younger brother, his mother passed away. Just after the birth of his younger brother, his mother passed away, and so he became an orphan. What is next about Mikali? Yes, he is a refugee. He belongs to which refugee camp? Armenian refugee camp. He belongs to Armenian refugee camp and he is a refugee. That is the third thing. Have you got anything to add with it about Mikali? Yes, he carries his younger brother on his back. Already I have informed you that His mother passed away just after the birth of his younger brother. So now Mikhail looks after his younger brother. That is the fourth thing. What about the fifth idea about Mikhail? He is unable to go for work. Why can't he go for work? You can guess, because a wailing infant is there on his back in a sack. In the last class, you saw that Mikhail went to Anatolian camp in search of a nursing mother. Anatolian refugees are people who ran away from Anatolia. You can see it here. Anatolia or Asia Minor. Nowadays it is known as Turkey. He went there to find out a nursing mother. There we stop the class. Shall we continue? Open your textbook at page number 45 and let's read together. May I read the story for you? Their camp was like his, the same misery. All the women were crossed on pallets on the ground. Barefooted children played about in pools of dirty water. As he approached, several old women rose to ask what he wanted. But he walked on and stopped only at the opening of a tent. From the interior of the tent came the sound of a wailing infant. Have pity on this poor orphan and give him a little milk. I am a poor Armenian, he said in Greek. At his appeal, a lovely, dark woman appeared. She held in her arms an infant blissfully sucking the maternal breast, its eyes half closed. Let us see the kid. Is it a boy or a girl? Mikhail's heart trembled with joy. Several neighbors had come closer to see, and they helped him to take from his shoulders the sack where the baby brother was held. With curiosity, they leaned over. He drew back the cover. Here the word misery conveys poor living condition. You can see another word, pallet, that conveys an idea of a mat or mattress which is made up of straw. You can see the image here. Look, it's a kind of mat or mattress which is made up of straw. When he entered the Anatolian camp, there he saw children playing in the dirty water. Old women sitting on mats greeted him. Through these images, Michele could realize the pathetic condition of Anatolian camp. Some of the old women asked him about his intention. He did not give them any answer. Straight he went towards a tent from where he could hear the sound of an infant. He had only one intention in his mind, that was to find out a nursing mother. Why didn't Michele give any answer to the questions of old women? We have got 4 options. Just go through those options. Which one is correct? Yes, C. Option C. That he had only one intention in his mind, that was to find out the nursing mother. Then, standing in front of the house, Michele loudly requested to have pity on this poor orphan and give him a little milk. My dear children, here you have to know the difference between little and a little. Little is a semi-negative word. It means no. A little means a small quantity. You have to understand the difference very clearly between little and a little. The sentence, "There is little water in the pond," conveys the meaning that there is no water at all in the pond. I have a little water left in the water bottle means there is a small quantity of water in my water bottle. Okay, my dear children, then from inside the tent, hearing the request of Michele, there came out a woman with a breast-sucking child in her hand. She asked Michele whether the child was a boy or a girl. Michele's heart started to pound because of happiness. Finally, he could find out a nursing woman, and she became ready to ask about the boy. With the help of old women, Michele took the sack from his back and removed the cover. Here we have a question. Question number 10. Why was Michele so happy? Why was Michele so happy? Michele became happy because the nursing mother asked him about the child. He thought she might help him. Okay? The nursing mother asked him about the child, and so he thought she might help him. That's why he became very happy. Now Michele is very happy and hopeful. Can you imagine the rest of the story? Shall we see? Let us read the story. Okay. May I read the story for you? The women gave vent to various cries of horror. The child had no longer anything human about it. The head had become enormous and the body, of an incredible thinness, was all shriveled up. As until then it had sucked only its thumb, it was all swollen. It was dreadful to see. Mikhail himself drew back in fright. All of them together chased him away, threatening. His eyes filled with tears. He went off, bearing the little child still wailing in its hunger. There was nothing to be done. The child was condemned to die of hunger. Mikhail felt himself immensely alone and lost. A chill ran up his spine at the thought that he was carrying such an unlucky child. He slumped down in the shadow of a shed. It was still very warm. The country spread out before him in arid wasteland, covered with refuse. Noon rang out somewhere. The sound reminded him that he had eaten nothing since the day before. He would have to go sneaking about the streets, round cafe terraces, filching some half-eaten roll left on a plate, or else rake about in the garbage for what a dog would not have eaten. Suddenly, life seemed to him so full of horrors that he covered his face with his hands and began to sob desperately. Here we can see certain difficult words. Did you notice the usage give vent to? Can you say anything about that usage? Give vent to. When Mikhail drew back the cover, all the women made cries of horror because of the strange look of the infant. The child had an enormous head, thin body and a swollen thumb. It means veertha periviral, swollen thumb. When they saw the child, they became very much frightened and they chased him away. Here we have the 11th question. Why did the women give vent to cries of horror? The women gave vent to cries of horror because of the strange look of the infant. The child had an enormous head, thin body, and a swollen thumb. Here, Mikhali ran away from the Anatolian camp with the wailing infant. What is wailing? Wailing means crying with pain or grief. He slumped down himself in the side of a shed. Slump down means sit heavily. That village spread before him an arid wasteland. Arid means a dry area. He felt that village like a wasteland. Here we have the 12th question. Why did Mikhali feel immensely alone and lost? Because he realized the fate of his younger brother was to die, and there is no one for him to help. So he felt immensely alone and lost. When he heard the siren of noon from somewhere, then only he realized that he hadn't taken or eaten anything for the last 2 days. Usually, he would go and collect food from the cafe terraces or garbage bins. Sometimes he would filch. Filch means steal something in a casual way. Sometimes he would filch the half-eaten food from cafes. But now it is not possible for him because he has got a wailing infant on his back. Look, the pathetic condition of a young boy of your age who hadn't taken anything for the last 2 days. Mikhali felt full of horrors and he started to sob. Here we have got the 13th question. Why did Mikhali sob? Mikhali felt life is full of horrors. He was unable to find food for himself. He was helpless in the case of his younger brother also. So he started to sob. When Mikhali sat in the shadow of the shed, what all thoughts might have come in his mind? If you were in the position of Mikhali, what all thoughts would haunt you? You just think of it and prepare the thoughts of Mikhali in your notebook. Dear children, now I would like to give you an assignment. You have to prepare a write-up on the topic, the pathetic conditions of refugee camps in the light of Mikhali's experiences. When you write, you may take these hints that there is no privacy, there is no shelter, there is no security, insufficient food, malnutrition, insecure life, and many hints are given there. With the help of these hints, you may prepare a write-up. And when you prepare a write-up, you have to remember that there should be a title. You have to elaborate the idea based on the topic. Varied sentences and apt words can be used there. Okay, my dear children, please go through the textbook once more and write the answers of side questions in your notebook. I am sure You are very curious to know the rest of the story. We shall take the rest of the story in the next class. Till that time, stay safe, stay home. I would like to say goodbye now. Myself, Biju Matthew, signing off. Thank you.